made it to Chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Invisired. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 364 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I am your co-host, Luke Millette, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Dr. CJ Benkert, and if you want to hear about how diabetes can be reversed, stay tuned. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I am pumped for this episode with Dr. CJ Benkert, and been getting to know CJ for some years now, and it's really inspiring to see what she's accomplishing with her life and with her business and her intentions to help more people. This is episode 364. And before we get into the big why of Dr. CJ, I'm just going to share with everybody the big why behind Chiro Hustle and why we do what we do. We protect free speech in chiropractic. I think that's vital. We document and create a tapestry of this beautiful profession with stories of chiropractic. And we do protect the sacred trust. If you don't know what that means, go into your favorite search engine and do sacred trust at chiropractic, and you're going to see some information that might inspire you to work harder to support the profession of chiropractic. And with that, we do support subluxation-based chiropractors. We believe in the roots of chiropractic when it comes to innate intelligence and universal intelligence, connecting man and woman, the physical, with man and woman, the spiritual, through the adjustments. So with that being said, Dr. CJ, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Yeah. And before that, I just want also, I usually roll through and say, my co-host Luke Millette's coming in from not Grand, I'm Grand. He's coming in from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I'm coming in from Grand Junction, Colorado. And CJ, you're coming in from what part of California today?
I'm in Lakewood, California, right below Los Angeles right now.
All right. So now that I got all the formalities set, your chiropractic story. I know it's been a long time coming. Let's share it. And I know you got a book that's out soon, and we'll talk about that as well. But let's open up. Tell us your chiropractic story. How'd you get into this beautiful profession?
So my chiropractic story, I am an athlete, and I played high school basketball, college basketball, high school basketball, went down, couldn't walk, low back issue. My entire life, my family took me to chiropractors for health and nutrition. I never was taken to medical doctors. So went to my chiropractor, got all fixed up. Fast forward probably 20 years, or actually, see, I was 16. Fast forward maybe 10 years later, and I was pre-med. I was going to go to medical school because even though I always wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a natural doctor. I felt like people would only listen to me if I was a real doctor. So I ended up going to Costa Rica and did some soul searching and realized I don't want to treat symptoms with drugs and surgery. And I fell in love with Costa Rica. I fell in love with how they greet each other, which is PuraVida, which means pure life. I came home and I ended up going to chiropractic school. It was the best thing I'd ever done because I wanted to go to school and learn about honoring the body's ability to heal. You know, my favorite word, and I know as chiropractors we all know this, but innate intelligence, you know, that's my favorite word, and I just honor that. And I ended up going into practice, but my love and passion has always been really nutritional work and a natural lifestyle. And 20 years into practice, was doing great work, loved what I did, but my health was failing just because of stress and living on this planet and and toxins and whatnot. And that kind of brought me to where I am now for the last 8 years.
And now you have a new book coming out, or is out in some form or another. Why don't you tell us about this exciting new book that you're launching?
Thank you. So I went into more of a nutritional practice in 2014, 2015, and my own health was failing. And so I started doing different things with my health, with nutrition, fasting, and I started getting these amazing changes with myself. And I still had my chiropractic practice. And so I started doing the same changes with them, and I started seeing hot flashes go away, diabetes being reversed. And sadly enough, I've actually lost 2 family members to diabetes. And the program that I take people through now reverses that in a very short amount of time. And I know most people don't think that's even possible. So for my first book, I wanted to really reach out to diabetics, and not just diabetics, but people that are weight loss resistant, insulin resistant, which we now know about 88% of Americans are insulin resistant because of diet and stress and toxicity and just the way that we live on this planet, especially in the United States. So the book is the Diabetic Weight Loss Solution: How to Lose Weight Fast and Reverse Your Diabetes. And it is available on Kindle, and it'll be available in print starting this Saturday, April 2nd.
And will there be a website where people can come and purchase it when the print version is around?
Yeah, so they could even go to everything's pretty much, all roads lead to Rome. Is that the saying? All roads lead to Rome?
I'm
What is
not
that?
sure.
Something
I
like
don't
that.
know that one.
I believe
All roads
all roads lead to Dr. CJ.
all roads to contact me and to see anything about what I'm up to and what I love to teach and how I help people is found on my website. So it's drcjpuravida.com. DRCJ PuraVida, PuraVida.com. And you can get on my waiting list for the book. You can get a free chapter right away. There's discounts on the book when it releases on April 2nd. But that's the way to contact me with everything, whether it's the book or my YouTube channel or my Facebook group or anything that I'm up to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, kind of shifting gears a little bit, what have been some of your favorite ways to get new patients to schedule with you and come into your office?
Yeah. I think that organic marketing and just connecting with people one-on-one is the best. So, before COVID, I loved doing dinner workshops. That was basically, how we connected with people. Me standing in front of a group in a restaurant, treating them to dinner, and I would have a couple of those a month, and just treating the people that came in to the program really well and making sure that they got a good result, so that it was just internal referrals and these dinner workshops, and it just kind of circulated through beautifully. But when COVID hit, it's like, okay, well, I can't go into a restaurant anymore. Now what do I do? So I was really kind of pushed out of my comfort zone to get more into the online space, which is really something that I've been wanting to do for a long time anyway. That was one of the reasons why I met both of you, wanting to just reach more people and have more of a virtual online practice. So that's what I spent the last 2 years doing, is just creating everything that I take people through in person online so they have that same experience. And what's worked the best for me has been Facebook. Just touching people, reaching out, talking with people, just showing up daily, connecting with people via Facebook Messenger, inviting them to my group, and just showing up on a daily basis, whatever form that is, and just having that organic experience. And it's worked. It's worked beautifully. I have on a regular basis people contacting me, setting up calls with me. I get on a Zoom call with them, talk to them about their health and what they're struggling with, talk to them about my program. If it's a fit, great. If it's not, at least I was able to connect. And it's been amazing, the people that I've met, not just clients, but, retreat owners and, leaders of these large, women organizations that are really trying to make a difference in the world. And just the connection and the network that I formed by putting myself out on social media on a daily basis has been absolutely phenomenal, life-changing.
Well, they say content is king, but I think
Yeah.
consistency is queen. And
Amen.
I think that the more that we can create good content and have good consistency, that's the way to the kingdom, and that's the way to create movement and have momentum, and to invite people in. Because I think that the more consistent and strong you are with your messaging, shows people that they can know, like, and trust. And it's one above it, because I know what you do, and you're in such demand that there's a lot of love in it. And when you make time for people, it really matters. So I think it's really cool that you're creating new outlets for people to have outreach to you. I remember being in a mastermind with you 2 years ago, and I was like, this is the way. This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the one thing. This is the catalyst. This is the market that needs you. And I think it's really cool to see that that's what you're really you're focusing on and developing into. So um, the more specific it is, the more your avatar shows up, and the more clear you are as who you want to help, the quicker they can find you. So I think
Yes.
that the messaging is super important, and I think the book's going to be a huge catalyst for you. um, I'm just excited to be in that 12%, the 12% that is not insulin resistant.
Me
I,
too.
I want to be in that 12%.
Yeah.
And to follow up with that, do you think that fasting is something that can help people with that? Because I know that I don't know a lot about it. I've never fasted. I'm not one of those people like, gosh, I can't wait to drink water for like 24 straight hours. Like, so, so tell people like the baby steps of fasting and why it's
Yeah.
helpful. And is that something that helps with the diabetic reversal curve?
Yes, huge. That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. And I love that you said, the baby steps, because really it is just a step-by-step thing. Like when I first have clients come in, I'll talk to them about, like a 5-day water fast, and they'll just look at me like, you're crazy. Like, there's no way I'm
I
ever doing a
I feel
5-day.
the same way.
Right, but when you start with, hey, let's just skip breakfast, or hey, instead of having breakfast at 8 o'clock, let's push it out until 10. Because what you need to realize is that when you're not eating, there is nothing more powerful to allow your body to heal and turn on innate intelligence, turn on autophagy, self-eating, cleaning out of the cells, than fasting. But fasting could be timed fasting, partial fasting, fasting mimicking. So just push out breakfast till 10. And then, hey, let's not have any breakfast, maybe 3 weeks later. Hey, let's start eating at noon, 1 o'clock. Okay, let's get our eating window maybe 3 months later into 6 to 8 hours, because studies have been done that show it's not about eating less food, it's about eating less often. So you can eat the same amount of food in, let's say, like most Americans are eating 14 to 15 hours a day. McDonald's, Pizza Hut. Now, I'm not saying to eat those things, but let's look at all of those foods, eat it over a 14-hour period, eat those same exact foods, same calories, same foods exactly, but a 6 to 8 hour window. That's going to have less damaging effect on your body than spreading it out over 13, 14, 15 hours. Because every time your body has that time and space where it's not digesting food, where you're actually fasting, now your body can heal, lower the blood pressure, lower your BMI, eat up unhealthy fat, clean out your body. So that would be a great, baby step approach to fasting.
Well, Jim will tell you I usually don't eat my first meal until like 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Luke's a workaholic, and he'd rather work than eat sometimes. And I'm like, dude, you got to go get some food, otherwise you're gonna pass out.
Right.
Plus, he does a lot of coffee too. So I think
Yeah.
that when you're also have the high acidity from the coffee, and you're not eating, it's out of balance a little bit too. But
It,
he's a heck of a producer, and I just want him to be healthy. So That's my brotherly concern sometimes.
You're just jealous you can't have coffee anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So autophagy, that's a
Yeah.
big word that probably a lot of people don't know much about.
Yeah.
So fasting leads to autophagy, and autophagy leads to betterment in health because the body's not constantly having to work to break down new calories.
Yep.
And the old calories are good enough, right?
Old calories are good enough. The diseased cells, the diseased organelles, the worn out tissue. It's the only time the body can go in and clean out.
How I guess it's kind of a hard question to ask, but how common is it for people to practice this type of routine?
What, intermittent fasting?
Yeah, intermittent fasting to where the body can actually like use its old resources.
Um,
Obviously, what do you say? 88% of the people aren't doing it.
Yep, 88% of Americans are insulin resistant, which means they're not turning on autophagy, they're not intermittent fasting, they're not fat burning, they're stuck in sugar burning, and they're just releasing insulin and creating all kinds of inflammation and metabolic disease and metabolic inflexibility.
You've made it to Chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Invisired. Let's hustle. Yeah. So let's turn the page to you. What are you doing to stay healthy? Being this person that's helping people stay healthy, what does it look like for you on a day-to-day basis? What are you doing strategy-wise to make sure you're taking care of you? Because I know at one point in your career you weren't, and you were getting burned out, and you weren't feeling well, and you probably weren't looking the way you want to. So
Yeah.
what are you doing day to day to make sure you don't fall back into those old patterns?
Well, I have daily habits. I call them ritual commitments to myself, where I stay balanced in, body, being, relationships, and business. And, I do what I teach my clients to do. I ground every day. I meditate every day. I practice yoga every day. I intermittent fast most days. You don't ever want to eat the same way forever and ever and ever. It's not good for the body. So I purposely do high carb days some days of the week. I do 24-hour fasts at least one day a week where I only eat dinner, kind of like Luke's schedule. So I've got 24 hours for the gut to heal. I eat lots of vegetables and healthy fats and protein. So I'm trying as much as possible. And my mission is to be an example to other people that want to have, change in their health and want to be their best. And that's why I developed my 12 core concepts, which a lot of it is food related, but it's not just food. It's mind, body, heart, spirit. It's pure water. It's fasting. It's testing. It's detoxification. It's diet variation. It's all of that. So I'm constantly on the journey. I'm not perfect. But I love being on this journey, and I love showing up for people. And if I fall down, I share with my tribe how I fell down and how I'm going to get up and do things different next time. And I just try to make it real and realize that it's all about balance. As long as 90% of the time I'm in alignment with who I really am, physically, mentally, spiritually, and in my heart, then I'm good. We're not perfect. We won't be perfect as we're here on this physical planet in these bodies. We're never going to be perfect until we've ascended or whatever your beliefs are. So just to give myself that grace of being human so that I can have that same grace with my clients as well.
Well, it sounds like consistency and mindset are two of the biggest anchors for you to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do to not only help yourself, but other people. So that's pretty clear to me after listening to your message. And I really believe that the more people have consistency in their daily routines and habits, they get a chance to help more people because they're they're accountable for their own selves too, which I think is highly important. And I think it's important also to set the example for other people, because you don't know who you're going to have an impact with when they catch, an idea from you of how you do what you do. I can't tell you the countless number of people that I've had an impact with just telling them about the things I do on a day to day and how we stay committed to having accountability for ourselves. And I think it's really cool. It's honorable to hear what you've been able to accomplish and how you've created yourself into somebody helping more people because you helped yourself better. So
Yeah.
really cool, really cool. Um, let's talk more about people that have helped you in your career to get to where you are today.
Yeah.
Maybe mentors, heroes, people that have stood for something and helped you out through your transition.
Well, I would say, I'm going to go to my spiritual mentors first because that's always been my highest purpose. So Dr. Wayne Dyer was like a father to me. I mean, I didn't have a personal relationship with him, but I felt like I did. And I did meet him in person a few times at the Parker seminars. Whoop, whoop. He's had the most impact on me. Marianne Williamson is another one. I've read all of her books. Dr. Daniel Pompa, fellow chiropractor, wrote the foreword of my book, and he went on his own journey. I'd say it was about 12, 13 years ago. Mercury poisoning from having the fillings in his mouth taken out by a regular dentist, not knowing any better. And he has taught me the most probably about, the cause of disease nutritionally, toxicity, food, unhealthy fats. So a lot of what he has taught me over the last 10 years is what I use to create the program that I have now, where I take people through and they start at A and they're at Z at the end. And I want them kind of like raising a child. I want to instill everything I can into them that I know and love that works for me. And I want them to be able to graduate at the end of that 12 months and just have the tools and the power and the strategies and the routines down so that they can carry that through for the rest of their life.
Anyone from history that you don't know personally that you look up to or inspire you?
I would say going way back, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I've memorized many of his passages through the years. I can't tell you how many times I've been, just face down on the floor, just broken. And I've picked up a book that somebody gave me that's a compilation of a lot of his teachings, and I'll just open up a page and it speaks to me. And so he's definitely one that I would want to sit down and have a conversation with. And
what's your favorite passage of his?
To be successful is to be successful is to laugh often, to I have it memorized. It talks about, to earn the respect of intelligent people and the oh my goodness, I'm getting put on the spot. To earn the respect of intelligent people and like having children look up to you and, know who your true enemies are and find the best in others and leave the world a better place, whether it's with a healthy child or a garden patch. And to know that just if one life has breathed easier because you have lived, that is to be a success. And that gives me goosebumps every time I say it.
I love that. And, way to perform on the spot. And, one of the things I'll follow up with that is Vince Lombardi, the iconic coach for the iconic coach for the I think he was a Green Bay Packers coach. He said the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary.
That's a good one.
So to simplify a little bit and less poetic, but I think we're on the same page there.
That's a good one.
Figured you'd like that, Luke. And chiropractically speaking, or maybe metabolic reversal speaking, do you have a few miracle stories that you'd like to share with us that you've seen just impact that you've changed people's lives with?
I mean, 20 years of chiropractic, just having people come in that had, daily migraines for their entire life, in one adjustment, they never get a migraine again. I remember adjusting newborn babies, that had been crying for 3 days in a row and just, feeling their SI joints and, just small little tiny finger pressure on the neck and, sleeping through the night afterwards. It's just incredible, what the body can do. And then when I started taking people through this metabolic program, seeing diabetes reverse like within a couple of weeks. There's not one diabetic that I've taken through my program that has not been completely off of meds, within a few weeks typically. In fact, when we start them on the program, if we don't cut their meds in half immediately, their blood sugar drops too low. So it just goes to show you how amazing this organism is. If you just give the body the good stuff and take away the bad stuff, miracles occur. And there's never a lost cause. If you're alive and you can hear my voice, if you're breathing, the miracles are possible. I don't care where you're at. Miracles are absolutely possible.
And we have a couple of minutes left, so we're going to squeeze in one last question. Where do you see chiropractic going in 20 years?
I mean, I see there's a health revolution, a wellness revolution occurring. I believe it's been occurring for about 10 years now. I think there's a gentleman that wrote a book that I read when I first got out of chiropractic school in '93, The Wellness Revolution. I think his last name is Pilsner. I think it's in my book, actually. I referenced that book. And he talked about that this wellness revolution was coming. At the time, we didn't think so. But it's here. People are sick and tired of being sick and tired. They don't want to go to the doctor anymore, just get a medicine for their symptom. They come to me now. I want to get off these meds, or these 2 meds have been prescribed to me, but I don't want to take them. I know my body can heal. So I see chiropractic as, I want it to be the mainstream, doctor. I want chiropractic to be where everyone looks first, because that's where it is, honoring the body's ability to heal and not treating symptoms, but turning on that innate intelligence with that adjustment, with eating properly, with thinking, with loving, with just, be a human being, not a human doing. We're here to be and to love and to share and to connect. And to me, the chiropractic philosophy has everything to do with that.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
So to order your book, they go to drcjpuravida.com. Is that correct? What's the name of the book again?
It's probably backwards, the Diabetic Weight Loss Solution.
Awesome. Do you have any other websites or website assets you can share with our listeners? Or is that everything goes to there?
Yeah, my Facebook group, through my website. You can get to my YouTube channel through my website. I have a lot of videos that we've turned into audios on Spotify. So if you want to listen to different things, all the trainings, I've got all kinds of free trainings available, and it's all on my website.
Awesome. So everyone head over to drcjpuravida.com to find out more about what she's doing. And Dr. CJ, I want to thank you for being our guest today. We go back quite a while, so it's nice to finally have you on the show with us.
Yes. Thank you both so much.
Yeah, and as I get to dive in more to what you're up to, I look forward to reading your book, because I think that the information involved with this whole conversation around diabetes is something that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts. I know there's a lot of people out there that have people struggling with this concern, and they don't know where to go or who to trust. And they're following the pill mill and the medical model. And they're listening to people that say, cut it out, drug it out, burn it out. And I know that's not the chiropractic method, and it's definitely not the functional medicine background that you're helping people with. So let's get people to understand more about fasting. Let's get people to know more about autophagy, and let's get more people to know that it's not more drugs in the body, it's less drugs in the body. And we got to join that 12% to work to become non-insulin resistant, and see how we can create a healthier body for people to where they can actually start living the quality of life that they want. And I know it's a chiropractic philosophy is to let the body heal itself. That doesn't need anything extra in it. It simply needs no interference. So if we can do that through the chemical, the physical, and the emotional state of people through the 3 T's, thoughts, traumas, and toxins, we can start decoding some of these things that are making people not feel well and experience symptoms to whatever degree they're manifesting them as. So Dr. CJ, I know you're in high demand. I know the book's going to do really well. You've always been somebody I've looked up to for your intention to help more people and for everything you stand for and everything you do. I just wanted to say thank you for being our guest today.
Thanks, Jim. I feel the same way about both you and Luke. You're my brothers. My brothers.
Thank you. We just want you to enjoy the rest of your evening over there in what city again?
Lakewood.
Lakewood.
Thank you.
Just south of LA.
Yep,
That's
just
right.
south of LA. Come visit
right.
soon.
Will do. All right, we'll see you next time, CJ.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for being our guest today. Have a good night.
Thank you for having me. I'm
All right.
honored. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.